Hello everyone. So today I'm going to show you how to get YouTube data in your Flutter app using JSON. So first of all, you need to head over to YouTube Data API to get the API key for yourself. I'll create a new video. Let me know in comments if you need to know how to get the YouTube API. I'll create a new video for that. So I have a YouTube API key for myself. You can create your own by heading over to developers.google.com/YouTube/v3 and then you can create a new key. So let us create a new Flutter project. Next. The project name should not have any capital letters. Okay, next. So you can name it anything. Let us finish it. We'll create a new JSON file from here. We'll create a new Flutter project. So a new Flutter project is created. We are gonna work everything from scratch. I'm gonna delete everything. So I've deleted everything. Let me create a new main.dart file. I'm gonna create a stateless widget from here because we don't need it. We don't need a stateful widget here. So this is the new one. Now what we are gonna do is, so the first when we'll open this app, the first thing which it will show is it will start with main.dart file. From here we can work around with other files. So I'm going to work with Android here. If you need to know how to run it in iOS app, let me know in comments. I'll work on that too. So let us create a new screen here. We'll go to Dart file. So we'll say JSON YouTube JSON. You can name it anything. So let me import material.dart here. So this will be a stateful widget. So this is the shortcut. Just type stful and enter. So I'm gonna name it the same YouTube JSON. Okay. So the first and foremost thing we need to do is I'll show you the JSON file which I'm gonna uh, get in my Flutter. So this is the YouTube JSON. So this is the JSON file for this playlist items and playlist ID. This is the playlist ID. So you can use any playlist ID here. Okay. So this is the playlist ID as you can see here. So this is it will show you the kind. This is YouTube playlist kind, and then it has some items. So this is the array here. So this is the list here. So this is the first item. 0th item is, so let me first explain you how we got this JSON file. So this is Google API key. We just need to put playlist ID here. Playlist ID equals to playlist ID. How will you get playlist ID? Just head over to youtube.com, open any playlist. Maybe let us open Punjab Kesari TV. Okay,
केंद्र सरकार
so the playlist. So let me just open it. So as you can see here, this is the playlist list equals to this. So this is the playlist ID. So you just need to copy this playlist ID here and paste it in here between playlist ID and key equals. So this is my key and I'm gonna hide it because you should not share your key with anybody always. So I'm just gonna place the playlist ID which we just got and then enter. So here as you can see here, so this is the playlist. I just got this whole playlist in JSON format here. So as you can see here, this is the kind. So playlist item response. So these are the items in here. Items means per how many videos we have. So 0 till, so this has so many videos as you can see. So this is almost 0 to 14 and almost 50 videos. As you can see here, here also we'll have some 50 videos. Okay. So so this is the playlist item. Playlist item means video. So let us see what is there inside the playlist item. So this is the playlist item first. So this is e tag ID. We don't need this anyway. So the published at, this is the date on which this video was published in this ID, and this is the channel ID. This is the title. We may need to print it in a Flutter app, and then these are the thumbnails, you know, so these are in different formats. You can use any of those formats, and this is the video ID. So if I just put it youtube.com/video ID equals to, I can just directly play this video. Okay, so this is how JSON file works. If I open it in some other browser, let me just open it in Chrome. So Chrome will show this in JSON format, but we have Mozilla. Mozilla is the best. So in Mozilla, we can directly see it in a good format, in a much better friendly format, user friendly format. Okay. So let us head over to our app. So we had created a stateful widget, one more. Let us create a new function here. So what will we do with this new function? I'm gonna parse this JSON in this function. Okay, so let me create a new function here. Cool. So I'm gonna call this function as get data. Okay, so what will be the type of this function? So this will be of type future. So what is future? I'm gonna explain you in a very simple way. Future is, so whenever you want to get some data from internet, and you know that it will take some time to fetch the data from internet, because you know it will hit the API key. The API key will be checked by Google, then you will get the YouTube JSON file, and it will take some time to get your data back to yourself, to your app. So that means it will take some time. You will get the data in future, so till that your app should wait. Okay, so let us see how we can do that. So I'm gonna create let us create a new string, like URL equals to, I'm gonna place my whole string URL here. So what I'm gonna do before uh, placing the URL here, I'm gonna create a new class here, new dot file, and class name will be API key. Okay, so class API key. So as I told you, we should not share API key with you. I mean, I should not share, and you should also not share with anybody. So I'll conceal it in this class. So I'm gonna create a static string API key equals to, and this. I'm gonna place my API key here. It's a long string, so I'm gonna uh, paste it here and then use it directly. So I'm gonna pause this video for a moment so that I could place my API key here. So I have placed my API key there. Now what I can do is I'm gonna create this. I'm gonna get that URL, this whole URL, and then uh, paste it in our app. Okay, so I have pasted my Google API key, and I have also used playlist ID as this one, which we just copied from that YouTube page. And here, in order to call API key, I'm gonna import my class here, import, and then class names was YouTube something, YouTube. No, sorry, it was API key. So I'm gonna, sorry. So it will be API key. Okay. So here, as it was static, so it's gonna be very easy for me. So what I just need to do is API, so dollar API key dot dot. Okay, so in order to do that, I should use this API key dot API key. So if you need to use a substring inside a string, you should And the string consists of two parts, like class name plus string name. You should always use this format. I mean, this is the only format you can use actually. Okay, cool. So here I have placed my key equals to API key, which is coming from this class YouTube. No, sorry, API key dot dart. Cool. Okay, so we have the URL from which we are gonna fetch our data. So the next thing is we are gonna use HTTP. So let us just import HTTP. Cool. So in order to import HTTP, we need to first head over to. So we are gonna head over to pub.dev. So this is the place where you can get all the packages for Flutter, pub.dev. Search for HTTP here. I've already searched, but I'm gonna do it again. So this is the rating. This is 100. So we're gonna use this one. There can be some other from some other developers as well. So in order to install this in our code, go head over to HTTP, installing, copy these dependencies. Cool. Move over to pubspec.yaml and then just paste it just below this. Cool. Here, so this should be just below your flutter test, and then I'm gonna save it and run pub.get, sorry, pubget. So this will download all the dependencies which we need. So it just took 1.7 seconds on all dependencies we have in our flutter code to use HTTP. So as you can see here, there was some error while importing HTTP because HTTP was not present in our Flutter project. So now we have. Okay, cool. So okay, so if you wanna see where we have just installed, head over to external libraries, dot packages, and then HTTP. So this is the HTTP package we just installed. Cool. Now, so we are going to use this HTTP package to fetch the data from this URL. Cool. So how will we do that? So in order to do that, we will let us call http dot get. Cool. Inside I need to URI dot encode full. Here I need to pass the URL. How by so we are just gonna paste it the URL here, and after that we just need to let them know that in which format do we need the data. So headers, I need to accept the data ccept accept in JSON format. So application slash JSON and this. Okay, so this is the code which will fetch the data. So we need to save the data in at some place, right? So we are gonna save it in variable response, and we'll also have to provide the type of this response. You can generally use variable, but I would not suggest it because we know the type of response. It will be http dot response. Cool. Nice. So, and the another thing is we have to await it. So there is some error, as you can see here, right? Because why? Because http will take some time to fetch the data from that URL. So we have already uh, let our code know that the data, it will take some time to fetch the data. So we have, that's why the return type is future, because in future we'll get the data. It will take some time. So we have to use async keyword. So async keyword will help us to wait till we get the response. And because this is a function we are using which will get the data, we should also await it. So there's no error now. So what will happen? So this will wait this rest of the code, whatever we'll write after this, will wait till this this data is fetched from HTTP URI. And async means that this function is, whenever you'll call this function, this will wait some time. This is a async function. Cool. So after that I'm just gonna check if I got the right data. So response dot code status code. So if the response dot status code equals to 200, that means we have successfully got our data from the URI. So if this is 200, that means it's correct. Cool. If there are high chances that it will not be, because maybe there is some error in the URI, there is some error in the server. In that case, what we'll do? In that case, we will just throw an exception. That's it. So how will you throw an exception here? Just write throw exception, fail to load. Cool. So, but if the response is what we wanted, in that case, what we'll do? In that case, let us just print. Cool. So suppose this is correct. So we'll create response body. Response body equals to, because response, the data type of response is HTTP response. We need to get the data. There will be header and body. We just need the body. In body, we'll have the actual data. So response body equals to JSON dot decode, and what is the source for it is response dot body. Cool. Okay, so we also need to uh, create a new variable response body. So which type should we create? We can directly create variable. I'm going to create it outside the classes so that I can access it anywhere. So I'm gonna create it here as a global variable. Okay, cool. So now I have the data in response body. Nice. So let us use the data, and I'm gonna just print in the console first. Cool. So let me just print it. Print. I'm gonna show you how to get the data from the JSON file. So this, we know that response body will have all the data. So the first item, as you can, where is the for, so the first item we need is, so these are the key value pairs. So there are multiple keys, 1 2 3 4. So we don't need next page token, we know we don't need e tag kind, we just need items here. So the first thing we need to write is items. So here is items. This is the format we need to use. Cool. So once we have the items here, so next thing, as you can see here, is 0 1. So what is 0 actually? So this is a list. In items we have a list. So the first item list is, so I'm just gonna fetch the first data list. So as you know, how can you get the data from list? Like 0 1 2 3, whichever you want. So response 0. Next thing, let us get the let's just get the title of it. So title is inside snippet. So snippet. Okay, and inside snippet we have title here. So let us get title. Cool. So I'm gonna just gonna print it here. Okay, so I'm gonna run it now. Let us see if I'm able to run it. So before running it, I'll create a new AVD. So let me just pause the video till it opens a new AVD, because it definitely takes some time. So as you can see here, my AVD is up and running. Let me just run this app. Oh, okay, but before running the app, did you notice one thing? In the main.dart file, it will directly open my app. This is the main app. But I want this after opening the my app, I should be able to run my YouTube JSON screen. So in order to do that, I need to create roots. So let me create root here. I will also I'll also explain you how to work with roots. So the first and the foremost thing is, you will return a material app. Cool. So in here we can uh, define a theme. So I like light theme. Actually, I like dark theme, but let us use the light one here. And next is we need to define the roots. Okay, so this is how you define roots. Cool. Just write roots, and the first and the foremost thing is I'll have to create any string here. Maybe I'll write YouTube JSON. Cool. And then I'll give colon, I'll give context here, and then I'm gonna call YouTube JSON screen. Okay, but this is one way of doing that. And here, if I want to load this, I'll just give initial root equals to whatever I give here. Okay, okay, and then save it. So whenever I'll open this app, so the initial root is set to this class, this screen, this is this widget. So it will directly open this YouTube JSON file. But we don't want to do that. We should not use directly string here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create a string here. So let me create uh, a string here. I'll create a string id equals to, and I'll put YouTube JSON. You can give any name, but I like to give this. Okay, and this should be accessible from anywhere, so this should be static. And if it is static and I don't want anybody to change it, so I'll also create it at constant. So here, instead of writing string, just write YouTube JSON dot id. So this is very easy. You don't have to write this or remember the string anywhere. YouTube JSON dot id. Cool. So let me run this app. I hope you got this. Initial root is YouTube JSON and id belongs to this file. So let me run it. Okay, so this is running. So as you can see that I haven't written anything inside this container, so I'm not gonna get a lot of fancy stuff on my app, but I should definitely get this printed over in my console here. Let us wait. Hmm. So my app got loaded here. So it was just a plain container, so I didn't get any data, and but I'm not able to see any print statement here. And so why is this so? Did you even notice that when we created this function, we didn't call it from anywhere? So where do we need to call it? Whenever this screen is created, this container, I'm gonna give it a color dot light blue accent. This is a nice color. So whenever I'm gonna open this, whenever this screen should get created, it will definitely open a init function, right? So init state function. So whenever a new screen is built, an init function is called internally. So we'll use this function to call our get data function as well. So after the init is called, I'm gonna call my get data function. I'm gonna save it now. And then I'm gonna rerun it. So let's see. Let's wait. So as you can see here, so hot reload got activated, it's hot restart, and I got the output data here. So items, first list, snippet, inside the title. So I got the Sarkari Dawon ki Khuli Poll. Cool. So this is the video title. So let us print something else instead of it. So let us print maybe the second one, and here we have title गरीबों के साथ लूट something. So I am just gonna change it to 1. Let me save it. It will get hot reloaded. Okay, I'm gonna start this. Okay, so गरीबों के साथ loot. So we got the output here. Cool. So what if I want to print all the video titles? Simple. For Let's create a follow where I in. So as we know that this is the list. Okay, so I'm gonna print it like for I in. So for I equals to 0, I is less than, so it will start from 0. So we need to give the length. So how many videos we have. So in order to do that, we know that this is the list we have, response items. Cool. So this is the list we have from items, and we can use length function here, if you know. Cool. And length function, and then I plus plus. Cool. And then I'll just print out the statement, and instead of 1 I'll put here as I. Cool. And we know that I variable is integer, so instead of where I can use int. So let me hot restart this, and let us see if we could get the data we want. Oh, cool. So as you can see here, we got all the video IDs we have. Cool. So now I'm gonna print this with all the video IDs in my uh, app. So let us see how we can do that. Yes, so I'm gonna create a list builder here. So this builder is an awesome thing. You'll really like it. Cool. So first of all, where is it? Container. Okay, I'm not gonna use container here. I'm gonna use a scaffold here. Scaffold, you know, right? Let me know if you don't know. I'll create a new tutorial for this too. And do I need app bar? Yeah, I think I need app bar. So app bar, I'm gonna put title. So title is always text. So I'm gonna write here YouTube video IDs. Okay, in body, I'm gonna I'm gonna get the data in body. Cool. So I'm gonna create a container here because this will help me out later, and it has child. And now we'll use our favorite list builder, list view dot builder. Okay, so how to use this list view dot builder? So list view dot builder will help us to uh, build all the print all the data in the from the list in such a form, in a scrollable format first of all, and then this can be dynamic. The best thing about list builder is this can be dynamic. So just provide the length of the item count, and they'll just provide the item count, and then it will create it. Okay, so list view dot builder. So first of all, let me just item count. So what is our item count? We know what's item count, but this is response body. That's why I declared this response body outside the classes, so that I could use it anywhere. So I know that response body has items field, and then I can use the length because it's a list, so I can use the length. So how will this build it? So item builder is this. So here we need to provide the whatever we need to print it. So first of all, it will use a function context, and uh, index is, I'll show you what is index. So inside this I just have to uh, uh, provide. So we need to print it inside this, right? Okay, okay, I got it. So how will I do it? So let me just, if I could, let us create a new variable here. Maybe that will really help us here. So I'm gonna create a new variable with name video data, because so this is in video, maybe IDs. So it will help us out. So this is video IDs because I just need video IDs, or maybe just create a video data. So here we have video data. So once we have this response body and we just need items, what I'll do is, after printing this, or even before printing this, I can do it. Although, and I think I should, if response body is, then I'll use this one. Video data equals to response body, and I just need items here. I don't need anything else. Cool. So I've declared this list here, and then provided some value inside the response to status code. This will only work if this URL works. Cool. Okay, that's amazing. And then video data equals response body item. So now we are going to use this video data here. So I'll just put text. Okay, maybe this will not work. In order to use this inside um, the Okay, so item builder will have an anonymous function. This is context, this is index, this will return some value. So I'm gonna return, let us put it as column wise. So maybe I'll return a column, and here inside I'll put widgets, and then I think I have to use this one. Inside the widget, I'll put a text. Okay, so what will be text is the question. So we know that we have data and video data, and we know that in order to fetch the title we need to go like this. So here I'm just gonna copy this, copy, and then video data here. So I know instead of I, what will I use? Index. That's why we have index here. So this will work as a loop sort of, and then it will print our values here. Let me see if this works. I'll save it. I don't think I have some error. Do I have some error? No, I don't think I have any error here. So why is it showing the method was called on null? Okay, let me just restart it. Okay. So the job ran it. Although I got the data printed here, but it failed miserably. Why? So I'll explain you why first. So this did not, because as I told you, whenever this app will run, it will directly open the screen, and when it opened the screen, it directly tried to fetch this video data list and get the title. But till then, we hadn't got our data back from URL, back from this JSON using HTTP, because this will take some time, and this opening of the screen and fetching, printing the data on the screen will not. It will just take within milliseconds, it will happen, but this JSON will take some time. So what we need to do here, so we just, first of all, we need to check if we have data inside this or not. Okay, so if the length, if this length is greater than 0, if this is greater than 0, then I hope you know this shorthand. Let me know if in comments if you don't know. I'll explain this too. So if this length is greater than 0, then definitely use this length. If this is not 0, then if it is not, then use 0. Cool. If I save it now, and rerun. Amazing. Um so as you can see here, now I'm getting all the data here. Why did this happen? If I restart it, let me just restart the app. I don't think I'll get data here. Let me see. Okay, my viewers are waiting. Run it fast. Okay, so the APK is built, it's getting installed. Okay, great. I didn't get any data here, and when I try to build again, it again got 0. Cool. So if response to item length is greater than 0, then use this, otherwise use this. So why did I get this problem? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a set state function here. So maybe inside this I'm gonna create a set state function. So what will happen if the set state function, so whenever you call a set state function, this whole screen is gonna rebuild. So do you know the meaning of rebuild? So whenever you have a new data here, it will rebuild the screen. So it will help us to fetch the data whenever this async function is completed, this function from where we get the data. So let me call the set state function inside this itself. So whenever I'm doing video data, let me call set state function, and then I'm gonna call this here inside this. Okay, so I got the data. So let me just restart it again. So it's running now. I've called it in set state. Let's see how it works. So APK is built, it's getting installed. Amazing, I got data. So first it tried to load the data without any data inside the video list. I'm gonna fix that because that red screen shouldn't come. And once it loaded the data, it was red screen. And then when it got the data in this response, and it called the set state function, set state function will rebuild the whole screen again, and then it save the data inside video data, and then we had the data inside this. So set state function is being called on video data, not response body, not on response, uh, not on response body, not on any other variable. So instead of using response body items, we should use video data here. So if video data equals to null, if it is null, in that case the item count should be 0. If it is not null, then it should be video data dot length. Cool. So now let me save it and I'll rerun this. This time I should not see any red screen. Cool. I'm gonna rerun this. This is gonna be a final time. I promise. This is how it works. Let's wait. Let's wait. Let's wait. Okay, so it's running. So if you feel any problem in the code, if you need code, please let me know in comments. I'll give you the GitHub. So it ran, it did not have any data. It showed the screen with blank items because item count was 0. And then when it got some data from async, I got all the data in my on my screen using set state. Let me know if you find any problem in this, please. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. And also, if you need any help on anything, please call me. I mean, don't call me, like